Our wellness coaches are strong and courageous in sharing their health journeys, oftentimes around areas of mental health. This is wellness coach Colin Droney sharing his talk, Light at the End of the Tunnel.
When you pour water and oil into the same glass, how the oil and the water separate, I felt like I was the oil and that I was perpetually different from everybody else. And it was really embedded in me from a young age that whether people liked me or not depended on the external things that I had. Like if I was skinny, if I was athletic, if I was funny, that decided whether you were going to like me or not. My internal characteristics and my character assets had nothing to do with any of it. And also when I was a kid, I was bullied a lot, like really badly, because I was a chubby kid. So my brain told me that I wasn't liked because I was fat. And I can't point to any one thing as the root cause of my eating disorder, but I think that definitely had an impact in it. So I basically continued like that for years. And when I was 12, that 2009, it was absolutely the worst year of my life. My grandmother died in September, and that was the first death I'd ever experienced in my family. And it hit me really hard. And then 3 months after that, my mom died. And it really, really messed me up. And it put me into this place of, like I really wanted people to accept me and like me, but those events just made me isolated. I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want to talk to any of you, but I still craved your attention, but I didn't have the courage to leave my house and go talk to you guys. But I was still grabbing onto those external things to try to, prove myself and seem like I'm worthy of your friendship. And I'm happy I'm not like that today, but I'll get to that. But my head was always just really noisy, and I felt these constant feelings of inadequacy. I was contemplating suicide from a pretty young age, and there was one thing that I found that worked for me. And I was 12 when I tried it, and it's called alcohol. And a year after I got introduced to alcohol, I got introduced to weed. And around the age of 14, drinking and smoking became a daily thing. And I was smoking every day from the age of 14 on. And from the age of 14 to around 20, I don't think I had more than 15 sober days in all those years. What started off as self-medicating and trying to shut my brain off ended up becoming a completely new beast of its own. And this full-blown alcoholism emerged in me, and it completely consumed my entire life. And in the middle of all this, I was still looking to try to prove myself to people. And as I said, I thought that I needed to be athletic and skinny to prove myself to you guys. So I started playing sports. And I decided to take lacrosse very seriously. And I ended up committing to the University of Michigan, which is a D1 school, my sophomore year of high school. And that was all I needed. My ego was complete. That was all I needed for all you guys to like me. But no one liked me any more or any less. It was all the same. So I went through high school. Lacrosse was really my identity. I didn't identify with anything else besides that. I still didn't recognize all those internal qualities. And that was my identity. And, I get out to Michigan. I graduated high school in 2017. I get to Michigan, and a month into being out there, I get diagnosed with a heart condition, and I get told I can never play lacrosse ever again. And that was the only healthy coping skill I possessed, and it was now out the window. And the other coping skill that I possessed, the less healthy one, was drinking and smoking. And I immediately reverted back to the only thing that I knew, which was those two things. And it progressed to an extent that I didn't even know was possible, honestly. I became a morning drinker, a midday drinker, a nightly drinker. I would drink, pass out, drink, pass out. And, towards the end of my drinking, I had about 4 seizures from alcohol withdrawals in a 5-month period. And one of my people on the call here remembers that very well. And it gives me the chills thinking about it. And it makes me choked up. But yeah, I ended up having to take some time off from school. I had to go to rehab a couple different times. And I ended up taking 2 semesters off from BC to find a solution to my problem. And I finally stumbled across that solution in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. And, I'm not going to get too much into that because I know this is not an AA meeting, but, finding a connection with God has truly saved my life, and it has given me purpose. And I know that today I'm uniquely qualified to help other people who are struggling with alcohol, who are struggling with eating disorders, who are struggling with mental health struggles. Like I've walked that walk, so I can help them get through that. And right now, I'm not confused as to what my purpose is in my life, and it's to help other people get through those obstacles that just seem insurmountable at first. Um, and I mean, life isn't a straight line, obviously, and I've had ups and downs. Like I had a relapse last March, and it was horrible. Like I reached a brand new bottom in 2 days of drinking, but I needed that. I needed that to learn and to get to the place where I'm at right now. And today I can say that I'm content and that I'm happy, and I'm only content and happy because I'm growing. Every day is a day where I can grow, and every day is a day when I can talk to God and I can ask him. I call him him, even though it's more of an it. I ask him, what do you want me to do today, God? Like, how can I best perform your work right now? Like, guide my thoughts, guide my actions, and help me go with you. And just trying to deepen that connection with God and seek him in new ways has just been, it's been life-changing. It's completely changed my entire life and my outlook on things. And if you were to tell me a year and a half ago that I was going to be happy and content and sober for over 6 months today, then I would think that you're absolutely insane, and I would assume that you were high on some type of drug, and I would ask for one of the drugs that you were taking. But all those things are true today, and I am happy, but it's a continuous process. I have my ups and downs, but overall, my trend is on an upward path. I got a positive slope going on in my life right now, if that makes any sense. And I made up a quote, and I literally made this up, and I think it's pretty awesome, and I should copyright it. But sometimes you have to spend some time in the darkness to make the light a lot more obvious. And that, my experience, like, it's a perfect example of that. So I probably talked for too long, but thank you for having me here. I'm really, really so grateful to be here. So thank you.